welcome everybody. And we are going to discuss the three realities. So make sure you are comfortable. You have some water beside you so you can drink some water. Put yourself in like a meditative state of attention and that you listen to understand and think from within your heart. Three realities. And subconsciously, I think that when I name them, people think, hey, I know this song, or you have Highway to Hell from ECDC, Road to Nowhere, and Path to Heaven, or Stairway to Heaven, if you want the song from Led Zeppelin. So we have three realities: the highway to hell, the road to nowhere, and the path to heaven. What has given this? For self-insight. So when you grow up as a child, you become adult, and your life has ups and downs. So you say that the ups are going to the path to heaven and the downs are going to the highway to hell. And you know, if you think my life is not going the way that I wanted, or I wish I could get off the highway to hell. Like, for example, if you are fighting addiction or negativity, then you need to slow down because you are going to take the right turn and you will end up from the highway to hell to the road to nowhere. And that might be confusing to one who is on the highway to hell, takes a right, and is going to the road to nowhere. Not knowing his destination, not knowing maybe in which religious or spiritual way he is going to give form to serve actually the Creator and the divine hierarchy, the enlightened hierarchy. And then you need to make a choice. And then you decide, instead of to complain, I start to pray. And I'm going to focus first on the Creator, then on the spiritual, and then third on the physical. So there you also see that you have these three levels. So you have highway to hell, you have road to nowhere, and the path to heaven. You have the divine realm, the spiritual realm, and the earthly realm. So when you are on the highway to hell, but you have this little spark like, I need to change something in my life because it's getting out of control, it's going too fast. That's why it's the highway. You need to take the right turn. And then you need to learn on the road of nowhere to let it all sink down. Yes? So you need to slow down if you want to go from the highway to the road to nowhere. And then you need to even slow more down and become more precise and accurate to take your next step on the path to heaven. So there is some velocity, like experienced people know that when you put your hands together, you ground yourself, you balance yourself out first, and then you tune in. And when you take, like in meditation, you slow everything up down. In prayer, you slow everything down. But if the divine is uh, light equip you, you can go really fast on the path to heaven. You know, you cannot go as fast as a UFO. Mhm. But that is something different. But to realize, hey, I need to slow myself down. So, for example, when I'm a consumer and I want to buy things, if I'm on a highway to hell, I'm greedy and I want to buy everything. But when you slow down, you make wiser choices and you are not going to get triggered by the hype. Yes, by the commercials, by the hype. You need this, a new one, a new one, a new one. Every year a new mobile phone. That's marketing. It's not like providing you a better device. No, it's getting money from you. So on the highway to hell, you will spend all that money. On the road to nowhere, you are thinking about it. And on the path to heaven, you know that you are going to lower your ecological footprint on this planet. And therefore, we actually should go into resource-based economy, but also back to repair centers, repairing. And we need companies that build a mobile phone that can last 25 years at least. We can build them. And then with all the updates, make it easy to switch. Repair, repair, repair. Reuse, reuse, reuse. Recycle, recycle, recycle. Then we are balancing things out, but everybody's screaming about climate. No, reuse, repair, recycle. Yes? And that is, or else be quiet about your climate, which is changing always. So we cannot stop it because the earth is still shifting, and that's why every piece of land on this earth is experiencing in time all different climates, from desert till flooded till everything in between. Yes, hot, cold. So we do not really need to worry about that. What we need to worry about is the weather types are getting extremer, for example, by scientists not being able to say no, and actually that should be the focus on the harmony with nature. So on the highway to hell, you are not in nature, yes, so you need to slow things down. And on the road to nowhere, you can absorb the signs of nature left, right. But if you're going sitting in a field, in a forest, in nature, you are calming down. Together. How do you move? Are you taking the highway every time? Are you being able to slow down and to go on the road to nowhere by taking the right turn? And then you need to pick your light source and you walk your next step on the path of heaven. We understand that we need to slow down our lives, and more mindful thinking to that is actually, yeah, we should demand repair, reuse, recycle. Yeah? And then also dropping the cost. Because if you repair, reuse, recycle, the resources you need are lower, so the price is down because you use resources. So when you think in your life, which change would that be from highway to hell, buying everything, path to heaven, you take care of your ecological footprint on this planet. And then you only buy what you need and not what you want. And educationally, women need to educate children differently and no longer ask the question, child, what do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? Because the child wants everything. So you ask the better question, what do you need? And the child is thinking, am I thirsty? No, I do not need anything to drink. Am I hungry? No, I'm not hungry. Can I play outside? Yes, I can play outside. I don't need anything. I will play outside. Yes? But as we see in these end times, the highway to hell goes much faster because it's bombarded to you at any screen. Yes, and AI has also created something so bad in which people can indeed lose their mind, but then you also becoming a slave of distraction. On the highway to hell, you are a slave of distraction. You need to be distracted by the next hype, the next movie, the next series, Netflixing your life away. So on the highway to hell, you are zapping all these brainwashing channels, zapping hypnotically television. So what are you going to do when you take the right turn on the road to nowhere and you go from left to right and you do not know where to go and then you decide, okay, I'm going to take the right turn. Okay, goodbye television on the path to heaven. You don't need that. As if you have a laptop or a computer, basically you do not need a television anymore. But people want the biggest television on the highway to hell. It must be the whole wall. I want the brainwash wall. So yes, you need to slow down in everything that you want. And the less you want, well, I am the example of wanting less. Yeah, I want other things, but I want less materialism. I want less, and if you want less, and that's why I'm laughing because I realize how happy it makes you. You do not need to worry about that thing that you bought and 2 weeks later it's in the shed. If you want less, oh no, I'm not following that high, or I'm going to buy it and put it after 2 weeks in the basement. Simply, people would put everything that they have on the ceiling or on the shed or in the basement on the street to sell. They should realize how rich they are. But also, toys, toys, toys. Slave of distraction. You're on the highway to hell. And soon the holidays are coming, eh? Santa Claus, And eh, what are you buying for the children? All low energy, straight from the highway to hell, are these toys. They do not make any sense. They do not educate children. Only create from child on a slave of distraction. Here's a toy. Here's a toy. Here's a toy. Here's a toy. Child screaming. Here's a toy. Here's a candy. Here's a toy. Highway to hell behavior. Yes. So parenting could be different. That you teach a child, ask what you need, and not ask what you want. Because the question, what do you want, is only related to greed. So if you choose a child greedy behavior, what do you want? What do you want? So ask, what do you need? And providing in the needs of each other, that is a good step on the path to heaven. Because if we do that globally, guess what? Everybody will do. So, because of the price, we are throwing 3 times the production straight in the bin. And all these children are hungry. Have not eaten for a few days. And you can find them in the Philippines, you can find them elsewhere in the world, in Africa maybe. But we throw 3 times the production in the bin for the price. Highway to hell behavior. This is illegal. It's illegal on my planet. So it needs to change. And if you don't change, okay, nature is going to wipe it from the planet. We are in the end times. So humanity needs to think to collectively take the right turn from the highway to hell. You are coming on the road to nowhere, and then we need to say you get out the car and make your steps on the path to heaven. So reuse, repair, and recycle. Resource-based economy, because we need to higher the level of civilization. In order to do that, we need to raise the norm. And we have these 3 levels, not only highway to hell, road to nowhere and path to heaven, but it's also low level of civilization, medium level of civilization, and higher or advanced level of civilization. Let that be clear. If we don't change, well, everybody is saying history repeats itself. Of course, history repeats itself. Noah was screaming at the top of his lungs, but not many listened to us, so the masses are going to die. And we are in these end times right now, where we see a decline and excess death, whatever the reason, and it will get worse. So, then I choose the Great Awakening. And my prophecy is there is no Great Awakening. It's not going to happen. There's going to be a great extinction. Yes, a great extinction. So most of humanity is going to die off, and not even by war. If you think that the coming wars that they are setting up are going to also be a lot of people dying, but not what nature is going to do. That is really massive wipeout. And then there will be here and there spread on the planet the few that made it into the future. And probably from the genome pool, extraterrestrials have gotten, that's why people got abducted. Probably they are going to replant humanity with those also to, or else you would not have enough population. But yeah, not a great awakening, but a great extinction. Round of applause for humanity because we enjoy it so much on the highway to hell. Yes, but you need to take the right turn. Yes, because I'm going to tell you one thing, experiencing hell is not the most fun thing. And we experiencing hell in the moment now, on this planet, being alive as a human being. I mean, if you go to the USA and you are Mexican or from a other tribe, and then you have ICE and they take away your father, ripping them out of the family, illegal, and they throwing them in the prison of El Salvador or something like that. Then these people say, I am going to hell. Well, we need to say that the only path to heaven goes through hell. But the experiencing of hell is not funny. And maybe you have moments in life that you think you experienced hell. For example, when you broke your leg or other things, horrible things, where you think, oh my God, I'm going through hell. It's an expression. And we go through hell in this physical life when we are on the highway to hell. Yes, there is where we collect karma to experience in this life the karmatic effect of goes to hell. Then you think, well, I reach hell some sometimes, but I now take the right turn because it's hurting me too much, or this darkness is a little bit too dark for me. Let's brighten up my day. I take the right turn on the road to nowhere. While slowing down on the road to nowhere, you have moments where you can be mindful or reconnect with mindful people. And then you can decide when you slow yourself more down, and that's the morning when you wake up, a beautiful moment to chat together, to be grateful for the night's sleep that you had, that you woke up to enjoy the brand new day that's given to you, and to pay attention to your breathing, your heart rate, and very slowly you want to have yourself to go into this world. Yes, to take the next step outside of the building that you are in, your house. And then when you open the door and you take one step outside, you pray to nature. Nature, coming outside. I do not want to harm you. So I do not want to step on an ant or a snail, or when I'm on my bike or on the car, that flies or other insects do a kamikaze action against the windshield. So I'm going to move through nature, be aware I'm here, and do not crash into. You will find out that if you practice and practice that other cars will have their license plate covered in insects and yours is clean. Only do the practice first. I'm not now saying your opinion. Oh, it's not, cannot be true. No, first practice, 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 and then you will find out it's true, like I did. But I needed to practice it first. So on the highway to hell, people are arrogant. They think they know it all. Ooh, the messy know it all, but I am the Pope. to get those. So practice. And why is it not normal during the end times that pastors, priests, imams, rabbis, Buddhist monks, and kami gumites, healers, religious people, spiritual people are going to the streets to save others? So on the path to heaven, it is save others in order to be saved on your turn. So yes, this is also something that I want to carry out with the practice of unselfish behavior in service to the Creator. I am here to save others, to get you out of the highway to hell, to guide you into the right turn, and I already know you will not go directly to the path of heaven, because that is like braking fully on the highway to hell, and that's creating accidents. So we are slowing down. So first take the right turn, and then recover from everything, addiction or problems in your life that you had today. And then think about the life source. Yes? And there are different levels in religion: low, medium, high, or advanced. So you see that the low level is actually on the highway to hell. The road to nowhere is the medium level, and the path to heaven is the actually too high level, advanced level. And this is your own human evolution. Get off the highway to hell, go to the road to nowhere, and take your step on the path to heaven. But sometimes your life goes like, I found the light. Oh yes, this is powerful. Oh my God. I'm going to do my best to go to heaven. I will pray every day and do your service to the Creator. And then you have that routine, but the truth, you know, life is not to become a routine. Not a routine where it's automatic, it's robotic. And I was praying, and oh, I was saving others, giving the divine light to other people, doing miracles. But then you experience some karmatic stuff that you needed to go through in this life. Testing your praying, because yeah, you feel good, you feel enlightened. Oh, and I can do that, and I do this for other people. Balance, yes. So you took a step on the path to heaven. You go back to the road to nowhere, and sometimes, you know, especially people with addictions, they fall back into the highway to hell. First, they went to, yeah, everything looks bright, and just like that, another test in life, bang, and you were on the highway to hell again. And this is actually experiencing life, and in total, these experiences are not wrong or bad, but you need to learn from them, and then you already experience in your own life, hey, I already experienced this, and this is the second time I am in the air. Yeah? But this is the second time I'm in trouble. Yes, and you found out, hey, history repeats itself. So we need to do other um, practices which should become a routine. But it's not like, okay, like today, this morning, on Sunday, I forgot to pray this morning. Don't tell anyone, don't tell anyone. I was too busy set the live feed on which you can pick up for this beautiful masterclass. You are great at today. You know, while every human being is figuring out uh, what life is, you know, I think to educate these three realities and that you will find yourself like sometimes, but not so much, on the path to heaven. Hopefully, most of the time on the road to nowhere, and also sometimes, but maybe a lot, on the highway, because we need to learn to understand what are we going to learn from the highway to hell. Feed. Yes, being selfish, careless, and that is often, you know, when people start to use those hard drugs and they are getting worse every day. Even in the Netherlands, even Flakka combination kind of high, that people putting themselves through such torture. Yeah, I wish them well. So let's pray for the people that are experiencing their highway to hell. And sometimes you think, oh, the highway, but it feels so good. It feels so good. Balance teaches us that feeling good is not the same as feeling okay. And we should, you know, sometimes when you receive divine light and you get that extreme happiness, you could say you feel real good. But it's also good to feel okay. Yes, to have that inner peace, which is not so much related to emotion, but more to clarity. Yes, where we say, like, we have these four emotional groups, like angry, sad, afraid, and happy. And within the pursuit of happiness, we want to be happy. But actually, I'm going to add a fifth group, which is divine, and that is the group of decay. Because if you force yourself to be happy or you need to be smiling while you're actually deeply hurt, it's not sincere. Yeah? It's a fake smile. Oh, I mastered that in life. How are you doing, Frankie? Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm okay. Inside, oh my God, a wreckage. A wreckage. Cannot take it anymore. And that's where you need to find divine light in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. So during these end times, it is actually coming more and more needed. It's not what you want, Rabbi. It's not what you want, Mom. It's not what you want, Pope. It's not what you want, monk. It's not what you want, Dalai Lama. It's not what you want, pastors, priests, imams, Buddhists, kami kumites, religious people, spiritual people. It's not what you want, but it's what is needed. It's not that you want to be in a certain position to save others in order to be saved, and your turn is on the path of heaven. So when you claim you walk it, we need to have people on the streets to save others in order to be saved ourselves. And I am just here a voice now on TikTok, on YouTube, and Twitch. If you want to make a change in your life and you think I'm on the highway to hell, but I see now that's maybe not really what I want, but what do I need? And then I hear people stressed out screaming at me, I need some peace of mind. And a lot of anger supporting that. Well, then you need to get the hell out of the highway to hell, to the road of nowhere, and there you are going to focus on your next step on the path to heaven. You need guidance to find inner peace. And to have inner peace, you need to raise the norm and apply standards to your inner peace. And when you have found your balance, and that is what people need to find your balance. But I can hand all the religious texts available, all religions, I can hand them. And I can show you. So I don't mind which religion you have chosen. I mind to follow the light of your religion. So you need to discern when you observe your own religion of choice. So it's not, I'm religious, I'm going to cut off your head. That's not religious. There is very deep down dark on the highway to hell. Such low. And we call that illegal behavior. It's criminal. So we do not want that. And if we want peace, we need to find our inner peace first, then talk to other people about peace. And I think I call it now too much, so I think the algorithms are going to drop now, especially on TikTok, because TikTok does not allow that topic really a lot. So yeah, it's censored actually. It's censored and you get downplayed, shadow banned, shadow tagged. I do not know what terminology they use. But especially there's also people looking comfortable away. They're really comfortable to look at them, but they are not good for that. They have become slaves of distraction, and the only thing that matters is their next fix, their next height. Want, greed. But we die. And when we die, and you are on the highway to hell, well, you have to do a lot of races there to get to the road to nowhere. Maybe you are not going out of hell. And we know that the only true path to heaven goes through hell. You need to go through it. And that means letting go. It's teaching us to let go. To let go what we want. I want chocolate. Sorry, ladies. When you die, there are no chocolate bars. Goodbye for you. Oh, I don't feel too well eating chocolate. There is no chocolate. And that's why certain beliefs are feeding the ancestors. Yes, with those little spoons, forks, knives, little plate, little cup of tea, tiny stuff. And then they do their prayer and they place it so spiritually they can take that feeling again, actually. Because if you die and you want too much, you still have that one thing in the spiritual realm. It's nothing that you need. Yeah? So it is indeed important to understand that you do not relate anymore to the question what you want, but you only relate to the question what you need. And that's how you save a lot of money, I can tell you. Not that you live in the now, because what you need is in the supermarket really expensive. And this is also the greed of corporations, the greed of the elite. Yes? There is no such thing as a religious war between Christians and Muslims. No, there is no war between black and white. It's only between the elite rich and the people. And they want more, they want bigger companies, they want to own everything. They are creating bills to own you, to own your life, to own every cell in your body. And on the highway to hell, they created phones. I do not want to trigger the community guidelines too much, but you can check that one out. And these are people, that are humanoids. Why are they used? And then if you learn a thing or two about, for example, gang stalking or other things, or other theories, things like insane, these things are happening. We are living in the end times. And what did we learn as humanity from, for example, the times of Sodom and Gomorrah and what happened to them? So humanity in total needs to become less evil. And global needs to find the balance in harmony with nature. If not, nature is going to teach humanity big lessons. And one part of the world I'm a little bit worried about, but it should not be worried. But it's the Philippines. If you see, and Japan probably also, with all the earthquakes that are going to happen, and it's not going to stop. And then strange stuff is it's not going to stop. And we have 3i Atlas. We choose to have balance, so we do not choose. What do we not choose? To be slave of distraction. So only if you are studying, you are focusing on something, you study, and then you need to have result in knowing. That is the origin reason for studying, is to have a result in knowing. But it's different than when you like something and they are going to put it in front of your face, but hey, no day, like 2 days tomorrow or the next week, nothing is actually going to change about observing 3i Atlas. As long as they can see it, the truth is not changing. So do you need to every day and more complot theories added to it? And that is where they provide you to be a slave of distraction. And then I think, who deserves the most attention? Let's talk about that. Who deserves the most attention? It's obviously not me. When I think about it, I think that the creator deserves all attention. And if that's too far-fetched for you, because you cannot comprehend the concept that there could be a creator above this creation, then understand, if you are an atheist, that the universe is big enough that the thought and conviction that there is a creator is allowed to be. So you can think, no, it's not. But the universe, you need to accept, is big enough that you also can have thought, yes, there is a creator. So if you're atheist, you do not believe in that. And other people cannot grasp, but they think, okay, Jesus, Buddha, then that is your light source. Needless to say that in all religion it says that the source is light. So billions of people since ancient times were saying source is light. No, now me born, Frankie, no, I'm not going to believe that. Then I think of myself, that might be a little bit slow. So we need a creator-centered humanity living on this planet. We need to succeed in that. Then more of humanity will be saved. And balance in nature will be restored. But if masses are hypnotized, brainwashed to what they want, their greed and a hive, and you see them shopping and shaking when they're shopping because they want to buy more, and they scream. You can feel that negative vibe of those people. So we need to have people that are spreading divine light in their surroundings when they do shopping. We need people, more and more people, that express themselves on TikTok, on YouTube. Like, hey, yeah, I know about these three realities, and I know now how they are interwoven with each other, and that you can go really deep in the highway to hell. And you can sort of surf on the road to nowhere, and you can be at peace on the path to heaven. Humanity is one. Humanity is not a plural word. So forget about your skin color. Being divided by skin color, you are on the highway to hell. On the path to heaven, we know origin, source, the creator is one. All religions are one, and all of humanity is one. Let that sink in. And the division is happening where? On the highway to hell. On the road to nowhere, there are these people flying directions, Some directions go back to the highway 12, some directions are pointing to the light source, and then you need to choose again. Take the wrong turn, you're back right 12. Take the right turn, you go to the path 7. And in your whole life, you will experience these different things. But when do we face ourselves in the mirror again? When are we doing that? When is that going to be a TikTok trend? That we say, hey, we are going to face ourselves in the mirror and speak the true story for ourselves. Who we are, what we are. And if you did not ask that question yet, because as slave of distraction, yeah, I'm distracted. So that's how people get fooled, brainwashed, and everything because they got distracted. So where is it? Where is that change? Where is that trend where we look ourselves in the face and say only the truth to ourselves? And I was doing that to myself, and I enjoyed it. I had a really good laugh. Because when I was talking to myself and I only see the truth, what I possibly could do wrong, well, trust me, if you pray, you find yourself and you meditate about yourself and you find the truth within yourself, you think, oh God, here I messed up. I messed up, but I didn't know why. Because people do not know that they are on the highway to hell on the road to nowhere. People only know because they became aware of the path to heaven. That's where you become aware. Yes? On the road to nowhere, you are actually your awareness, and you can pick that from this, that from that, pick. And then you think, hey, this is my calling. Yes? So when are we going to make, to refer to a calling, a trend on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, wherever, on social media, Facebook, name it, Instagram. So where are the mindful trends? Like, okay, we are going to hit 3 times singing bowl trend. Yeah, we hit the thing 3 times. Boing, boing, boing. New TikTok trend. Yeah. Oh, you're going to smudge as a TikTok trend. Let's smudge people. Or do a prayer trend. So other mindful things could be trending, but no, what are religious people doing? They stick their tongue out of their mouth and make funny faces. And I think, my God, is this a trend? It's, yeah. So I cannot do anything with it. I think it's important that the people who stick their tongue out of their mouth trend are enjoying it, but maybe some ancient texts are saying to do what the tongue out of the mouth means. So there is symbolism you can research. So it's better to follow your heart. It's better to follow your heart than to follow a trend from a height of stupidity. I'm so happy I have. I'm happy with feeding. Feeding it up. And I did not know how exactly I needed to this live stream. And it all falls on the reality, knowing that we need to slow down. When politicians are talking, whoa, 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 we need to slow them down. Yes, when a child is getting in a bad energy, we need to slow them down. If you yourself have so much energy and you are actually making mistakes, you need to slow yourself down. And when you are going to slow down, you know on the highway to hell, you need to take the turn right to slow down. And you get to the road with lower velocity, the lowest from the road to nowhere. And the road to nowhere is actually a road where you explore. And if you are smart, you study. And study must have the result of knowing, or else you are studying bullshit. So to be convinced about your own truth, oh no, this is truth. I've read one book. And only in this book, only in this book is the truth. I say, are you kidding me? I say, I found the truth in myself by tuning in with the truth. I found the truth in the world. I found the truth everywhere in nature. By not wanting one single thing of it. But you are so greedy that you claim the truth to be only in your book and your perception of life. Well, thank you, imams, rabbis, priests, everything that I addressed following this masterclass, and hopefully you do something with it and understand what I just have said when it comes to truth. Because I observe, I know that the Creator can pick up a human being, enlighten that human being, and let the human being do what he wants. Yes, or what he needs that human beings do. And that's where we human beings need to put our hands together and live according to the will of the Creator. And in Japan, they call that so I am grateful that I could express myself because I did not know how I serve the Creator in my life, in my next step on the path to heaven. But the truth is only out there when you have found it inside yourself. So the truth is not a finding in oneself mind. No, it is the truth of the true heart. It's the truth with the discernment between what is right and wrong. It's the truth that is sincere, righteous. So you do not speak with the tongue. And when we learn about these three realities, the highway to hell, the road to nowhere, and the path to heaven, and that in a human life it's possible to experience them all three. And sometimes you think, oh, I was pretty for a while serving the Creator, but I need some distraction. And down the road to nowhere, oh yeah, taking a trip on the highway 12. And then the next day, okay, we're going to focus back, take the right turn again, on the road to nowhere, wondering about why the hell did I take the highway 12 and focusing back to the Creator on the path of heaven, growing to the light. But we need to understand that we need to have these experiences also of making the mistakes to learn. But the fact is, you are born as a human being on this planet to experience this physical realm. But there is also a spiritual practice that we need to find our balance. And that's where you can choose my importance as the creator. I'm going to do my best. And if I am doing my best there, if Frankie is doing his best, it's not impressive. It's not that I think, because I already know how limited I am. So the high expectations, I say, oh God, you are God, I am human. I lower the expectations. And this is where a lot of people that think they call themselves something to express that they're on the path to heaven, living in a highway to hell. That's humbling yourself. Face the truth. Okay, no, I'm not the most intelligent person on this planet. But I want to make myself useful for the Creator. And how is that going, Frank? Well, I was kicked out there, kicked out there, kicked out there, kicked out there. This Creator, maybe I should do something for myself. And that is also your own service. To find yourself, to find out who you really are, to know your limitations. But we need to straighten our spine. So on the highway to hell, you are going to crumble. The spine is going to fracture on it's going to be more and more. And in the end time, it will get more extreme and more extreme. And we already go back 10 years, we see that these 10 years that are coming now are going to be even more worse. And more fascism around the globe. You see the split of politicians ruining people's lives with every war they start. And we need to slow them down. If I am angry, I do not have inner peace. So when I go protest in that way, I will not find inner peace, and the result of my protest will not lead to peace. So we need to unite Yes, and if you call yourself any religious name, any title, the masters, the imams, the pastors, the priests, the witches, the shamans, the healers, I invite you. I'm going to do more live streams for collective prayer globally. Because if I'm honest to myself, okay, I'm not smart, so I need help. That's what I know. Because this is not a job to take up on your own. But if you are saying that you are all hallelujah, then help me, and we are going to join and organize prayer days and our prayer globally, everybody enjoy, call it meditation, chanting. But we need to understand that discrimination is out, and it does not matter in which way that you think that you are enlightened and serving the Creator. That does not matter your religious background. We do not discriminate. At the end times, we need to do something together and unite and forget about we are this, we are that, we are in this. No, you are not. You are human. First, you understand that you are human and stop discriminating right there. So we are all human. But if we want to slow behavior that we have on this planet down in humanity, you are not enlightened when you say, yeah, only this religion or only that religion, and you use it as a form of duality and discrimination. What's going on in Sudan and Nigeria. If you are Christian there, you have facing atrocities. But no big news. So there are atrocities done by humanity on this planet or not. I mean, after NATO chief Rutte, Trump, and who was the other guy? Oh yeah, they were with Putin and Zelensky, and they were talking about a ceasefire. There is no ceasefire. So I was checking, hey, when is the ceasefire coming? Not coming. I do not know how many, but I saw that first 4 cities or towns, something like that, were taken in, and then another one. So now it's 1.5 days further. Complete destruction. So there were no intentions to have peace by any side because they use it for different reasons. That is how I look at it, or else it would be peace. So we need to demand peace for Ukraine too. So everybody needs, if they say you want to have enlightenment, you want to have harmony on this planet because you're so spiritual, religious, and you are a pastor, a priest, a shaman, doesn't matter. We need to unite, and at least I cannot do anything else than start up the live stream and everybody around the globe, and your religious background doesn't matter, but we need to amplify for times of prayer. So let's say first we were doing a 5 minutes, then you can say, hey, let's do 50. I am like, okay, an hour the whole day, I'm crazy. Sometimes I say, okay, 4 days. But I know everybody is on his own level, so just increase it. But we need to know that in the end time, we need to increase it. Yes, and when the atrocities are getting bigger, we need to, well, it will be best If you eat, sleep, and pray, yeah, if that would be the only thing, eat, sleep, and pray. So do as much. But we need to know that we need to save others because they are sinking and drowning on the highway 12 like it's a chain reaction on the highway. Oh, somebody braked because he thought on the highway to hell to go to the path to heaven in one time, and he braked really hard. Oh, I'm going to slow down. And then the other one behind him on the highway to hell. Oh, highway to hell! Crashed into that one, and then the other one, and that one, the other one, and that one. And then Frankie said, "Hey, let's warn people. Hey, you want to crash in that car? They are crashing in the chain." Let me take a little sip of my water. Needless to imagine if the road ice. But yeah, this is my cry out, my call out, people to unite sincerely, to pay attention to the spirit, and to pay attention to the great spirit, as the Navajo talk about, to the source of life. That is the only way to survive these moments of time, plus to go into the future. But then you need to practice unselfish behavior. So if you did an invitation for a peacekeeping in the mosque once a year, make it once a season. Then make it once a month, once a week. And talk about it every day. Talk to your people that they need to find their inner peace. That they need to be aware that they could be somewhere in between the highway to hell and the path to heaven on the road to nowhere. And that sometimes when they cannot take it anymore because there was too much stress on the job, coming home and drinking too much alcohol on the highway to heaven, the highway to hell. Ooh, we shouldn't mix it up. We shouldn't mix it up. I would tell. And then the next morning you are slowing down because you have a hangover and you think, oh my God, and then you slowly on the road to nowhere thinking about. And we need to repeat this because there is so much distraction. And slaves of distraction are easy to fall back in their behavior. But no, this movie is more important than my children. This series is more important than my children. And I watched the whole series. The whole series was 65 episodes. And I'm trying to decline. Hey, you know that I do a project. If you invest so much time in a project, man, whoa, you could contribute to a better future of the children. But this was just one Netflix series. Oh, you also saw Vikings, Game of Thrones. Oh, and that also. Oh, I don't know about that. I know I'm already explaining 10,000 times that I do not watch series because if it was a series mindfulness. Anyways, so we need to manage our time a little bit better. No movies, no series, but spending time to contribute to a better future of the children. It starts with educating the children not to ask what they want, but what they need. And you need to learn to ask yourself what you need. And not, I want this, and then you get all these creepy things that's happening with actors in China, like Yu Malong, Justice for Yu Malong, and the other actors that, because somebody has this psychopathic, I want this, and they want to control a human being completely, human being is theirs, and they can, ooh, that's right, let's change your gender. Horrible things, but humans and the humans that behave inhuman are down. So, mind control, when people start to talk, yeah, but that's mind control, I'm told. Therefore, I teach control your own mind. And within behavior, I teach find the balance first. Because when you're out of balance, it's not so easy to control your heart. It's not easy to control your anger, especially not if you are frank. It's really difficult. And these end times, I need to say they are pissing me off. The way that people behave, and I need to do this all the time. Yeah, I need to do this. Just keep my just keep my peace. And I hardly can talk to people anymore. Because, for example, when you see what's happening with ISIS in the USA, or with the Sudanese, or the Nigerians, or the Ukrainians, or the Russians, I'm not made for that. So sometimes you also need to recognize your own sensitivity, but also make it your own power. Okay, you can feel into it, and you need to put that aside. Yes, because you understand that feeling is making you sick. That I almost threw up on it. And then you need to park that. You need to strengthen your mind, control your own mind, and focus on the good stuff. So let me see what I'm going to do now. Here, oh, here. I think I need to do this. Oh no, that's the wrong one. How can it be? Also not like that. Oh wait. The best way is to do that. Bam. So we are slowly coming to an end of this masterclass. I'm going to see if I miss something or some more guidance is needed or my calling. Yeah, everybody that I'm calling to, I would like to see that that is becoming trending. That the one imam is challenging the other imam to do a TikTok trend about peace. Peace to all. It would be nice if all the rabbis, imams, the pastors, the priests, the shaman could do a live. Just peace to all the world without your religious background, without discrimination, without duality, without the use of force. I say, as an imam, priest, or whatever you are, peace around the world. And this needs to happen in 2025. If it not happen, I'm going to claim all your followers and they need to follow me because you are not good at your job. And I think that that is maybe a big problem in the religious industry, that the, do they practice at all? Oh, yeah, you practice so well, but the church is empty. You practice so well, but the mosque is empty. And all the holy places are getting more empty, empty. And people thinking, well, with all the atrocities, I need some slave of distraction time and pop some pills to handle it. But if we face this truth that that is the wrongdoing, then we need to activate and get more active. And I would like to see that on the streets. I would like to see that to become a trend, that all the pages are flooding with non discriminating, non stepping in duality, and non use of force by all these uh, people that I named, the monks, the kami comités. And so we can see it happening in the world. And I hope I inspired someone to do a post without discrimination, duality, and the use of force, and make it global without any background that matters. Because if I want to have peace with the pastor, that does not matter if I want to have peace with the imam, or I want to have peace with the shaman, or I want to have peace with any. I can have peace with all of them. But will they have peace with me? That's a different thing. Yes, and then I need to observe, how is the imam having peace with the rabbi, for example? What did they learn? And if I wanted to make really difficult, then I would choose, of course, a Jewish rabbi and a Palestinian imam. How would they have peace? And you think, well, that situation is horrible and difficult. Well, first we need to focus on it. Yes? And therefore, I pray. I pray that there may be peace. So, yes, I can. Say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I also pray, even if I have this color, no, the color of your skin does not matter. Humanity is one. I pray for Africa, no matter what. Yeah, but you just go. I'm not here to please everyone, because people on the highway to hell, and they want to kill anybody. They already scroll by. Yeah, they already scroll by. So yes, this is my invitation, and I will see who I can meet in peace on level, that will unite with following master classes that I'm going to give, and also following. Uh, I find it hard with all these different religions and stuff, how to call it, because the one calls it prayer, the other one calls it chanting, the other one calls it meditation. But amongst each other, they say, yeah, but that one is wrong, and that one says that one wrong, and that one is that one wrong. Pointing at the blame game to others. So, you know what? I'm going to call it, to collectively, mindfully meeting each other in the cyber world, to contribute in creating a beautiful atmosphere where you can lit a candle, lit some incense. You can do your own prayer, because everybody can pray in his own language, in his own religious background. Isn't that beautiful? Uniting without discrimination. Doing the work that's needed for who? For the Creator. Or else the end times are going to be really heavy for you, because you want a lot, you distract yourself a lot, and you are not aware about what's really happening in the world because you are on the highway to hell. It goes all too fast. And you are distracted by this, distracted by that, and your brains are not really functioning the way they should. Because are you slowing yourself down and say, well, let's sit down, let's face the truth of myself in the mirror, let's take that responsibility, and now let's slow down even more and take the next step on the path of heaven. Thank you so much, everybody on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch for listening. Hopefully, to see you next time, and feel free to share this with your imam, pastor, priest, monk, kami kumite, udaivareka, vareka, udaika, shaman, healer, pope, Dalai Lama, etc. Yeah, you understand me. Share this. And I invite them to come so they can learn something from me because I see not those things going trending that are needed in the end times. So bye bye for now. What am I going to do? I'm going to pray for all of you. Bye bye. So